video, I take a closer look at focal length and background compression.
Adorama TV presents Take and Make Great Photography with Gavin Hoey.
Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that has everything for us photographers, including a really great choice of lenses. But in this video, I'm going to look at two specific aspects of focal length, and that is the angle of view that you'll get from a particular lens, and also how a lens choice can affect the compression from your subject to the background, or the expansion of it as well. So let's start with probably the easiest to grasp, and that is the angle of view. So to help me demonstrate this, I've enlisted the help of Fern, and she's going to be my model today, although we're not really here to take great pictures of Fern. This is really about understanding how all of these things work and affect your photography. Now today I brought with me a range of lenses from 24mm to 200mm, and the focal length is the number part. So it works like this. If you have a small number, you're going to get a wide field of view and you're going to end up with things looking pretty small in your photographs. If you have a big number, you have a very narrow field of view and things seem really big in your images. So let's put that into practice. I'm just going to go back a little bit and take some shots. So let's start with the wide end, 24mm. Here I go. Great. So at 24mm, as you would expect, it's a wide field of view. I can see all sorts of stuff around the outside of the picture, and Fern looks really teeny tiny in the center. And that's exactly what you want with that type of lens. It's great for landscapes and great for portrait shoots when you want to show your subject in their environment. So now I've swapped to my 200mm lens, and I'm going to take essentially the same shot. And by that I mean I'm not going to move, Fern's not going to move. The distance between us is going to be exactly the same, and that is really important. Okay, here we go. So as you might expect, it's a much closer shot because it's a much narrower field of view, and the two pictures, well, they look completely different. But are they as different as they first appear? Well, to show you something that might surprise you, I need to jump from here into my office and have a quick look at Photoshop. You'll often hear photographers talk about background expansion or compression, and that's simply where the background appears to be further away or closer towards your subject. They'll also talk about the focal length used to achieve it. But is it just about focal length? Let's have a look. So here I have the 200mm shot, and also I have the 24mm shot. Now, if I just go and get a little bit out the center, I reckon that's about the same area as the 200mm. So we'll just go and paste that in. Obviously it's a lot smaller because it's a tiny crop from the picture. But if I go and expand it, and we'll just kind of bring the opacity down a little bit, and we're going to make this a little bit bigger, something like that. That looks probably, yeah, that looks about right. And see if we can just line everything up. Okay, there we go. Pop the opacity back up and commit to that. Now the first thing you're going to see when you look at these two pictures one after another is there is a difference in the depth of field. Ignore that for today, that is a whole nother video topic. What I'm interested in is the background. Does it appear further away on the 24mm and closer on the 200mm, or is it the same? So this is the 24mm shot, and if I flick onto the 200, it is exactly the same. Yeah, there's a difference in the depth of field, of course, but essentially the compression and the perspective distortion are exactly the same on both the 24mm shot and the 200mm shot. So if it isn't the focal length that affects background compression and expansion, what is it? Well, the answer is it's you and your subject, specifically how far apart you are when you're taking your shot, and of course, therefore, what focal length you're going to need to frame up your shot. Let's have a look. So I've got an idea in my head of how I want to frame up a shot of Fern. Let's start at the 24mm end of the lens. That means I've got to go really close. In fact, I've got to keep coming all the way to here. Now at 24mm, I have to be really close to Fern to get the shot that I want. Fern's fairly close to me and relatively a long way away from the background. End result is the background appears to be miles away from us. In fact, much further away than it appears with my eyes. So that's 24mm, but what if I double it to 50mm? But if I still stand here, well, I'd only see half the picture I had before. So if I want the same framing at 50mm, I need to step backwards. There we go. And we'll get the same shot again. Now at 50mm, that background has come a little bit closer to fern. In fact, that's pretty much how it looks to my eyes, more or less. By the time I get to 100mm, the distance between me and fern is now greatly increased, and when I take the shot, it's going to look really different. So now the background is coming much closer into the shot. It looks like the distance between fern and the background has decreased, when of course in reality it's exactly the same. Okay, let's go all the way to the top, 200mm. 200mm, I'm going to have to go back. Brilliant. So there you go, at 200mm, all I can see is background. The background has come right up behind fern and completely fills the frame. So it breaks down like this. If you've got a distracting background that you want to push way, way back, you can use a wide angle lens and go close. If you want to bring the background into your shot, you can use a telephoto lens, but step back. Well, of course, it's not just those two things we've looked at with focal length. There are other reasons for choosing one focal length over another, and if you want more information, head over to the Adorama Learning Centre. Alternatively, of course, you can always click on the subscribe button and see more videos from myself and the other amazing presenters here on Adorama TV. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.